5 impressive studies that show that fasting is the real deal. But before we start, I need this. And the background can change. Now we are ready. The first study is about autophagy. Probably you already heard about it. Yeah, the scientist Yoshinori Osumi got the Nobel Prize in 2016 for proving already years ago that the human cell is able to rejuvenate and to use ill or not used cell parts, to get into regeneration and to benefit from this. Later, Bakarnia, Butler, Barreto, and Zahepkar researched about autophagy and fasting in a literature review study. And they found out that fasting has quite some benefits about triggering autophagy. So when you go into a calorie deprivation, autophagy is induced in a wide variety of tissues and organs in response to extended fasting. Have you already heard of autophagy, and was it a thing for you to know that human cells can really regenerate with this process? Okay, we come to number 2, emotional well-being and fasting. And there were some studies on emotional well-being and also how the neurological patterns and the food patterns work together. A review of literature about fasting and mood disorders showed how neurological change during fasting affects on the mood, such as changes in neurotransmitters, quality of sleep, and synthesis on neurotrophic factors, whatever that means. Font, McGregor, Lee Boyer, and Michalsen searched how neurological change during fasting affects on mood. Many clinical observations relate an early effect on fasting on depressive symptoms, with an improvement in mood, alertness, and a sense of tranquility reported by patients. What did they find out? They found out that you feel better during fasting. But there are also some other studies that show when you are in a metabolism change during fasting, it can come to some emotional changes also. Number 3, hormones. And these little chemicals regulate so much in our body, but we still don't know everything about them, and science is still on the way to understand completely how hormones works. But already in 1977, scientists researched how fasting regulates hormones, or what effect fasting has on our hormones in our body. So Palmblatt, Levy, Berger, Melander, Westgren, H. von Schenk, and Skude did research on these hormones, and their study on 12 healthy males showed that energy deprivation or fasting can help to regulate different hormone levels in the body for a beneficial regulation of body mechanisms. The biggest beneficial increase of hormones was seen in human growth hormone, which is there for just growth itself, but also cell regulation and cell regeneration, and also cell production. They could also prove an increase of hormones from the thyroid, it's here, which also regulates mood and weight functions in the body. A little downside from the study is that a minor and gradual enhancement in cortisol, or the stress hormone, and nocturnal urinary adrenaline was found during prolonged fasting. So this is also kind of a proof that we are in a stress situation during fasting. pretty interesting stuff. For me, not really accessible because hormones are still, so complicated to get, and getting into the field of hormones is a different level where I'm not in yet. But interesting, especially with the human growth hormone, that this is so increased during fasting. Number 4, it's 10 days study of surviving and still be able to make critical decisions in your mind. So here, lots of scientists from China, I suppose, Yang Ma, Song, Wu, Yang, Chen, Xiong, Liu, Wang, Wu, Dai, and Li were testing how the fasting affects subjective sensations and also cognitive abilities. So they were researching on healthy adults in 2021. They took the healthy adults for 10 days into a fasting program, and they wanted to see if the emotions are regulated and if they can still make cognitive decisions, if they still have all the cognitive ability. I can read the results, what the studies showed. Our study showed strong influences on the sensations from the 3rd to 6th day of prolonged fasting period, but no significant effects on basic cognitive abilities associated with the energy substance switch. So they found out that during the energy substance switch, you have some emotional effects and sensations, but your cognitive abilities, so making decisions, being cognitive, able to still handle everything around you, are working good. They are not affected by that. These findings could contribute to the development and understanding of survival strategies in food shortage emergencies or of intermittent fasting programs. So very interesting also for a survival situation. When you're in a survival situation, then you can still be sure your cognitive abilities are working, even if you have complete food deprivation. Number 5, we come to the last study, and this is also the most controversial field of study. It's studying about fasting and the benefits of fasting around cancer. So there were already some studies on rats that showed that complete prolonged fasting can lead to a decrease of cancer cells, because autophagy effect shows that the body uses first the sick and the ill parts of the cell. And a study published in 2022 from Tiwari, Sabkota, and Han shows the effect on fasting and cancer. They searched for a lot of evidence in literature for the effects of fasting on cancer. And in this study, they show how fasting works in the body and also how that can affect cancer cells. They say several studies posit that prolonged periodic fasting may be acceptable, viable, and able to potentiate the chemotherapy and TKIs, triggering anti-cancer immunity and curbing chemo-related hazards and tumor regenesis in certain cancer patients undergoing chemotherapy. So they found in some studies that it can have a beneficial effect on cancer cells and also on regenerating after chemotherapy. But they say there's not enough evidence on humans to show that fasting can be good for cancer patients. So it's very individual, but maybe it's a nice field where more studies can really find out what fasting is doing with cancer cells. So maybe a bigger study here could be a method to fight cancer. Okay, these were the 5 studies that I wanted to show you. I linked them all in the description, so you can also do your own research. And yeah, there's of course a lot more to search for and find about fasting, but these 5 studies were coming to me and I wanted to show them to you. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, you can also research yourself a bit on fasting now and find if it's something for you. If you have not subscribed to the channel yet or followed me on my Instagram, then you can do that to keep yourself updated. Thanks for watching the video. Goodbye.